Thank you very much, and good afternoon. Welcome to Community Comment on the road today. We're happy to say that for the first time in over a year, Community Comment is broadcasting live, not from the Daily Dodge studio at 100 Bill McCullum Way. We're just actually a short distance away. We didn't make it too far from the Daily Dodge studio. We are at the beautiful Beaver Dam Veterans Center in Beaver Dam, right on Michael Avenue. You remember John Moser talking all the time about the tank that has its guns pointed right at our tower. That's where we're happy to be broadcasting from today. We were supposed to be at the Oakwood Cemetery, just right outside of Beaver Dam. And we decided, for reasons related to the weather and the fact that we all just don't want to be out there in the cold, that we were going to be doing this from the actual rain location of the 2021 Beaver Dam Memorial Day ceremony, which is what we're here to talk about today. Our guests, we're going to start out talking with Lois Levin. Actually, we're going to talk with Lois the whole time. Lois, thank you so much for joining me on today's program.
Glad we're on the radio with you.
Yeah, and on the video stream, we should mention to those folks listening to the radio that if you want to watch today's program, again, the first video stream that we've done in almost a year and a half, you can go to dailydodge.com. Under the video tab, the video should pop right up for you here. And if you miss it during the course of the program, you can go back and it'll be archived here later after we wrap things up. So Lois Levenhagen, my faithful co-host, and I are going to be interviewing several people throughout the course of the program today. In just a little bit, we'll be sitting down with Ty Leto. We'll also be speaking with Jeff Krakow. Did I pronounce that right, Jeff?
No, Craig.
Krakow. All right. Longo. Krakow. All right, I could do that. David Noe's there. I know how to pronounce his name, even though it's spelt really weird. But we'll give you a pass on that one. But in this first segment, we want to welcome into the conversation. We've got over to my, this is the one I always ask him. I always say, is it Chuck Staub or Chuck Stab? And you remind me every time that it's Chuck Stab.
Yeah.
But I want to call you Chuck Staub because it just seems like you got two A's in your name, Chuck.
It's just Staub. It's Staub.
All right.
But nobody knows
We'll
us
go
as
with
that
Staub,
name,
then.
so.
And then over to my left. And if you're watching the video stream, I think that would be to my right. We've got the one, the only Paul Louth. Paul, how are you today?
I am fine, thank you.
That's good. Good. Your grandkid's doing his granddaughter and my daughter are in the same soccer team, having a good year this year.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So good. Go Beavers.
Yep, they've won quite a few games, and Chloe has been doing an excellent job.
Yes, she's a great forward. Cassidy's been doing a great job on defense. We're in for a great high school season here once they move up to that next level.
That's for sure.
Can't wait.
That's
All
for
right.
sure.
Now the reason that we're here, we got a few reasons that we're here, Lois, to talk today. Not the least of which is the Beaver Dam Memorial Day 2021 ceremony.
Right. Last year we had a short version of it. We actually played the 2019 ceremony because we couldn't meet because of COVID. So what we did, we got together, our committee, and we just videotaped and got ready and did the naming of the veterans who had passed away since 2019 to 2020. And you add that to the end of that ceremony, so we gave those fellows and women and stuff honor.
Mm-hmm.
Because we thought if we waited till this year, we'd have way too many names, because we had 75 names last year, and I don't know, I'm just getting the names now from the funeral homes, so I haven't, counted them up yet, so I should have that by the end of the week, and I don't know if we're gonna have more or less, because, with COVID.
So folks that are out there listening right now, if they've recently in the last year had a friend, a family member that was in the service, what should they do?
They don't have to do anything really, because the funeral homes has a list of names, because they always have a list, if they were in the service and that, and they make up the list for me, and it's for this area here. Once in a while I'll get a name, and unless they're involved here with the Legion or the AMVETS or something that they're, in this area, we stay more within the area right here, but we get odd names once in a while from further away because they were involved here. And they have all that information, so I don't have to wait for people to call me. They just give me a list, the funeral homes.
Okay. If there's somebody that might be outside this immediate area, though, that maybe has ties to this area, that funeral home might not contact you.
It's a possibility.
Is that something people should
If they
keep
really
in
want
mind?
to put their name on, get a hold of me, and
Okay.
then I'll make sure I put it in then. Yeah.
And we'll talk about that in a little bit more context a little bit later into the program when we talk to the guys about getting a name onto the the memorial at Oakwood Cemetery and the Veterans Memorial, the beautiful Veterans Memorial that's out there, and boy, you've had a number of expansions over the years. There's room for more names.
Oh, yeah, there's always room for more names. Right now, we've got ample room, but if it comes to that point again where we need, we'll just have to expand again, put up some more walls. There's plenty of room out there, it's just that we got to figure out where to put it so that they all stay kind of, you know.
In the like the area where they
Right, yeah.
they could be effectively engraved and whatnot. Okay,
Yeah.
Yeah.
excellent. So we had a bit of a hybrid broadcast last year, as you mentioned. I know we had Justin, our camera guy, out there for you guys last year for that
Right.
one part of it, and then we basically brought you the 2019 broadcast. This year, the plan is to go back to the
Normal.
traditional way
Yep.
of doing it.
Yep,
Well,
yep.
what is the traditional way? Walk us through that. Generally speaking, you've got a veterans group that kind of is in charge of being the master of ceremonies, and
Right,
tell
we
us a
have
little bit about that, and then some of the other things.
Well,
that
we
we'll
have
see.
a rotating schedule of them. I have them all listed here, and like now, AMVETS has it this year, VFW, and then next year's AMVETS, and then the Legion in 2023, and then the Marine Corps in 2024, and then it rotates. And then that particular veterans group, their commander then is our master of ceremonies, and that's where Ty comes in. He's our master of ceremonies this year for VFW.
Ty Leto, waiting in the wings over
Yeah,
here.
yeah, yeah.
He's going. Is this the first time that? Well, we'll talk to him. I imagine when we
Yeah.
cycle out people into the next set of microphones.
Right.
We'll hear from Ty in just a
Right.
second. But he's basically the guy that's in charge of making sure everything goes without a hitch.
No. That's where I come in.
From a presentation perspective, in front of the microphone.
Right.
Okay.
Well, I have that taken care of though, too.
I mean, this is her book, by the way. I don't know if we could
Well, I know.
zero in on this. You've got two
Right.
books here.
Right. This one here, the one has actually laid out I printed out this year's, we're working on it, but it's 31 pages, and it's color-coded as to what they're supposed to say, when they're supposed to salute, who's stepping up to the mic next. It's all color-coded. I've got it all laid out for them. And it's in a plastic sheet, so if it does drizzle, it won't get wet and run. And if it's windy out there, I actually got a weight that they lay across the pages to keep it from blowing away
Okay.
and stuff. So I've got them in the right spot, and it's a weight. So I have it all.
So, like a well-oiled machine.
Yes, we are.
Yes.
Yes, I can't do this alone. I mean, I got a fantastic crew out here. I want something, and it's, I can do that, or I'll take care of it, and I just do the typing and put it all together, and stuff. But they do a lot of the footwork.
That weight whacks pretty hard sometimes.
I believe it. As long as they don't get off the color coding, then everybody's okay, right?
Right.
So you're not getting nervous, are you, Master of Ceremonies? I wouldn't be. Lois, she runs a tight ship, but at the end of the day, she's
I try
a
to.
teddy bear. So one of the big things that comes up then, you begin with the opening, the Master of Ceremonies, and then you go through with your chaplain, if I'm not mistaken, would
Yeah.
be the next up. Who's the chaplain
the
this
chaplain
year?
from the VFW, Maryland, Louth, is it?
Martin
Or
Louth.
Marty, or who?
Martin.
Oh, Martin. I thought you had said Maryland.
No,
Okay.
Martin.
Martin. Okay. Anyhow, whoever is the host, their chaplain usually is our chaplain for this ceremony.
of course.
And we have lots of poems that we do that's pertaining to Memorial Day or to the veterans and stuff. The Beaver Dam High School band will be there with a representation, and they add music to the program, which really helps, for what the program's about and stuff. And then St. Catherine's is back again this year too. They'll play one song. So they'll be there, the little kids, and they actually play pretty good for young kids, and
Yeah.
stuff, yeah.
Yeah, that's at the grade school level.
Grade
For
school
those
level.
not familiar, St. Catherine
Yeah.
is K through 8, I want to
Yeah,
say.
yep,
And then when we say that there's going to be some kids out there from the Beaver Dam High School, I mean, that whole band is usually out there year after year. We're going to get the experience of the band again this year.
Right.
It sounds like.
Yeah, yep, we will, because we miss that. And like when we used to have the parade, I mean, it was our main band that we had was the high school all the time in St. Catherine's, And we miss it, but we just can't do it anymore, And but no, they just transitioned and came with us out to the ceremony, and they really fill out and make it complete by having music during the ceremony.
That's excellent. Very
Right,
good.
right,
Our keynote speaker, are we getting ahead of ourselves? Have we announced?
Now, well, I haven't announced it, but you got him. He's on. Oh, he's going to do it. It's Peter Warwick
Excellent.
from up at the high school. So
Wow, that's great.
He's going to be our guest speaker.
And what's his background?
I haven't got his bio on all of it. I don't know it all.
Paul? Chuck?
Does it?
All right.
Dale
I'm
had
not
got
sure
no.
what
You'll
his
have to tune in.
background is either.
Yeah.
I
He's a-
know
he's a veteran.
Yeah, he's a veteran, yeah,
That
oh,
I
yeah.
know.
Yeah.
Right.
But other than that, I couldn't say.
Excellent. Very
Right.
good. So we've got somebody from the high school, and we got the high school kids coming back
Yeah,
again. That's
right,
great.
right,
That's
right.
great.
Yeah, and then, well, the mayor couldn't come this year. She always has a welcoming open, so we got Chris Olson from the council.
Council president.
Yeah, so
Yes,
he's
very
going
good.
to stand in for her. And then, of course, we have all the names like we talked about, and we have the lane of the poppies of putting them in the helmet, and we say absent as the names are called off. We'll be doing that again. And also, too, we have the great big wreath that Chuck's and his wife Linda keep in charge of that. And it's huge. God, what is that thing? About 4 feet across. It's
Oh, the
huge.
wreath.
Great big one. Big wreath, yeah. That we move and put in front of the memorial, like they do when you see with the president and stuff when they do things. So we're kind of mimicking. We get ideas from watching other veterans programs and stuff, and to enhance our program here and to honor our veterans.
That's great. Chuck, tell us about the wreath. This is something that, is it the same wreath every year that you use?
We keep it stored and make sure it's in proper condition before we bring it out. And
And
it's the
then
same one.
In the ceremony, how did tell us how that evolves into the ceremony? What is it that you guys do?
Well, Lois says, we have two elected to, it's usually it's usually the guest speaker. And
I can't remember who names I got
I'm
down
trying
for
to think
this year.
who was always guest speaker and who was, when you were on, Dave, who was the one that helped you with the wreath? Usually the master of ceremony,
Uh-oh.
wasn't it?
That's
And-
on your list, Ty.
One of the representatives from
One of the other
Well,
organizations,
from the
right,
organizations
right,
do it, yeah.
Great.
It
Right.
not necessarily has to be,
Now, Chuck, you're also going to be making sure all the flags are at the ceremony.
Well, I and a few of the other guys take care of getting the flags along the road, we take care of replacing the major flags, all the force, post,
Yeah.
or force flags, the Wisconsin and the United States flags. Those are all, I've got those all at home actually laid out, getting the pleats and wrinkles out of them. And we'll put them all up, and then we have two, Ross O'Brien and Don Zillish will be doing the hoisting of those flags at the ceremony itself.
Excellent.
Putting them at half-mast,
Yeah.
That's great. And what about the little flags? Are they are those still handed out?
Yeah,
or is-
they're from the Exchange Club, and in fact, I've got them in my car right now. They dropped off. They themselves couldn't do it this year, but we have Boy Scout Troop 6830, I think it was, with Becky Kirkick's kids, and they're coming to help the Boy Scouts, so they're going to hand those out. And then the older adults and their parents are going to help with parking and directing, so people keep on moving and where to park. And then, of course, they're going to have the bathrooms open at the park out there, and there's a walkway and stuff, and one or two are going to be there to help the elderly if they need help getting across, because you have to walk across the driveway and the lawn and stuff to get in.
Excellent.
So the Boy Scouts are really helping us out this year that way.
That's
Yeah.
great, and this really just plays into their focus and what they're learning as they go about their
Right.
experience in the Boy Scouts.
Right,
In fact,
right.
we'll be talking about some of the work that the Eagle Scouts are going to be doing here in just a little bit.
Yep.
But first, Chuck, you're in charge of the flowers too, right?
We get those donated from Fleet Farm every year.
Yeah. Oh, that's great.
Used
So
to be Shopko. When Shopko went out, we went to Fleet Farm, and they were happy to do it for us.
that's great to see
Yeah.
We'll
the
get a
business
good
community
dozen,
support.
whatever, or better.
Yeah,
from
and we just
them,
we just use them for the day because we
Yeah, we
pick
use
them
them
up.
for the day, and then we give them back to them in probably better shape than we get them.
Of course.
Because we prune them and clean them up and mist them, and we
Right.
get them the day before already. Sunday night, we'll get those.
Yeah,
And then Monday
Excellent.
morning, they'll come out to the park and be put up. And
yeah.
So then, if I understand this correctly, Chuck, you're on tap for next year with the AMVETs as being the master of ceremonies. Are you going to be? Have you already selected who the master of ceremonies is?
Well, we haven't had elections yet But Peter Josephowski would normally been but he passed this past year, so I'm thinking Del York was going to start to take it over. I told him, I said, I've got enough on my plate, I don't need that one right now. So he said he'd handle that. If he sticks with the Dodge County Legion, I'll stick with him on that. Otherwise, see, we play games together. You know, you do this, I'll do that.
You're already preparing, though, for it, it sounds
Oh,
like. That's good.
Oh, yeah, well, as much as you can prepare for it.
So if you could, Chuck, tell us, what is it the AMVETS does? How are they different than some of the other veteran service organizations that we may talk about?
Well, right now, it's the difference is the VFW have to be in country to join it.
Yeah.
The Legion, you just have to be in during wartime. The AMVETS, you can join as long as you were in service and with an honorable discharge.
Okay. And that's one of the newer service organizations in Beaver Dam, if I'm not mistaken.
05, we chartered in town here.
Do you still meet at the Veterans Center?
We do
Do you have
here. We
regular meetings?
originally started at the old senior center. you
Okay.
know. But, yeah, once the center was built here, then we moved up here with the other organizations are all here.
Yeah, and that's one of the great things about the Veterans Center is that all the service organizations that we're talking about, this is something that could be used by all veterans in just such a wide variety of ways. And it looks different nowadays, too.
Right, oh, yeah,
You guys have had a bit of a facelift
yeah, yeah.
and a new door.
Yeah, and we were adding another whole new wing on the side, a new bar and some more offices and stuff.
The old bar wasn't big enough, huh? There,
No.
Paul?
Wasn't
big enough.
All right.
No.
So, and when is that going to be complete?
I haven't heard a date
That's a
on
good
that, so I
question.
don't know. I know I think they got offices and the flooring and lighting and stuff done, but they're
Yeah.
building a bar and stuff, and they're working on that kind of stuff right
They're
now.
waiting on the cement bar to be poured, and I know a lot of it's being done by volunteers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Volunteers.
Volunteers.
So if there's construction workers out there that might want to give a little something back to the hardworking men and women that have given so much in their time,
Sure.
the Veterans Center might be a good place for them to go, huh?
I don't think we'll turn them down.
Yeah, and I'm sure there's some of them right now doing just that.
Yeah.
Bob Cook is in charge of that project.
Oh, give Bob a
so-
call then. huh?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So Paul, the VFW is next slated in 2025 after this year.
Right.
Your organization is is in the one that's at the forefront this year, though.
Yep, we're at the forefront this year. Our commander, Ty Leto, will be master of the ceremony. I did it as master of ceremony. Golly, I don't know how many years ago that was.
Yeah.
But I had been master of ceremonies. It's just an awesome program, the whole thing.
Yeah, you're in charge. What are you in charge? You're in charge of securing the benches.
Yep,
Tell us about
I-
the seating arrangement.
Well, every year I go down to the park department and talk to John Newman and ask him if we could, or if they could deliver some benches out there to the site. They're sending out enough benches to accommodate 100 people.
Oh, great.
And then they also bring 6 of the bigger benches, which we put in front of the walls for the VFW, the AMVETS, the Marine Corps League,
Knights of Columbus.
the American Legion, and then we
Right.
also have the KCs
Yep.
are going to be there. And I don't know if we've got a 6th group this year or not. I know last year they had,
There was the police honor guard.
the
I
police
don't-
honor guard
That's
was
newer,
there.
I
So
think.
Right.
we'll have benches, the 6-footers, so that they can accommodate more people. Because like for the VFW, we generally have 6 to 7 guys that show up to represent the VFW as honor guards. So,
Right.
yeah, I always make sure that John Newman gets those out there so that we can arrange them for the people to have a place to sit. But that does not mean that people can't bring their own chairs
And
and
our
sit
blanket.
wherever they want. And being that the CDC still says we should have social distancing, people may want to bring their own chairs and find a place to sit. And the viewing area around it is no problem. They can sit almost any place and view the whole ceremony with no problem.
Yeah, yeah. The seating, like from front to back, we might space the benches out just a little bit more for distance. But sitting in the benches, the people themselves have to govern themselves how far apart they want to sit.
Okay.
Because a lot of us, we've had our shots, we feel comfortable without a mask or sitting next to somebody, but there might be somebody that's not. So we have to let them decide themselves, do they want to sit next to somebody, or they can distance themselves. So we get seating for 100, but maybe only 80 will sit on those chairs or those benches. You have to play by ear. And we are encouraging people to do come with mask, because, like myself, I have my shots, I'm fine, but I wear one a lot of times just to protect the other people out there that haven't had their shots or can't have a shot, you know what I mean? So I'm doing the protection that way. And that's what we're encouraging people that day too, is if they can, wear a mask, if you can.
Yeah, please do. How many? But there's plenty of room for everyone. If you're not in that initial area with the benches, I mean, the park itself, the cemetery and the Veterans Park area is quite expansive.
Oh, yeah. There's room for 250 to 300 people that can sit in their own chairs or whatever. There's ample room out there.
Right.
But
And
we are,
the kids too,
we
they
are
can come
encouraging
with-
people to bring their masks if that's what they want to do. That's fine. I mean, like Lois said, I wear my mask whenever I'm in a store or with a crowd. Even like every day that I'm on corner cross guarding, the police department demands that us guards wear a mask. So I wear my mask. I have no problem with it.
No.
It's just the way of life right now.
Yeah. My daughter and your granddaughter wear masks while they play soccer,
Yeah.
for example.
Yeah.
So it's great to have those guidelines in place. Again, plenty of seating for everyone.
Right.
Bring a blanket, as you mentioned,
Right.
or a chair. And
Yep.
you guys have a great sound system. We don't even provide the sound. You guys
Yeah.
have a great sound system
Yep.
out there that really reaches out pretty far beyond
Yeah,
where you
Dave-
could imagine.
Dave's worked on that the last couple of years and really improved it, got us more speakers and everything so that the people back can hear better too. And then like you usually bring an extra speaker and we take it, our microphone I should say, and take it over by when the bands are so we can pick up the music a little bit better.
Yeah.
And that, so.
We should mention that you will be able to, just like this video stream we've got today, you'll be able to video stream the 2021 Beaver Dam Memorial Day ceremony,
Right.
and you'll have an expert behind the camera again. So,
Yeah.
so you guys are in good hands with that. And we do want to mention to our listeners once again, if you're just joining us, that you could watch this program today under the video tab at dailydodge.com. So the VFW, how does the VFW, how is that different than some of the other organizations, service organizations for veterans?
The VFW was established a long time ago. It is for veterans that have spent time actually in a war zone during a war.
Veterans of it.
So in order to join the VFW, you have to be a veteran of a conflict.
And you yourself are a Vietnam veteran, if I'm
Yes,
not
sir.
mistaken.
Yes, I am.
And thank you for your service. We appreciate that. Would you encourage, and this would go for the AMVETS too, encourage others who are out there who may fit the bill for a particular service organization to consider signing up?
Oh, yeah, we're always looking for new people. The hardest part right now is the younger generation, those from Desert Storm and Iraqi Freedom. I can understand where a lot of them are hesitant of joining an organization because they have a family. It takes a lot of time. The VFW, I mean, we have a lot of different things going on throughout the year. Like this coming Saturday, we got our first brat fry at Piggly Wiggly. On the 22nd, the VFW is in charge of putting flags on the cemetery, on the grave sites at the 3 Catholic cemeteries, the one in Lipsick, and the city cemetery across from Casey's. So on the 22nd, we will be putting flags out. So if anybody out there is interested in putting flags on the cemetery stones for the veterans, show up at St. Michael's Cemetery at 9 o'clock on the 22nd. We can always use help. The VFW always did it themselves, but our members are getting old. We lost quite a few throughout the years, so our numbers that can actually do it is getting smaller and smaller. So we're always looking for help.
And then does the Legion take care of Oakwood? I think this is, I don't know.
Yeah, the Legion takes care of Oakwood
Oakwood.
and
Highland.
Highland, yeah, there you go.
Highland.
Yeah, and I haven't heard the date. I don't know if it's the same date they do it, but.
Now, I don't know when they do theirs,
Yeah, I
but
haven't heard it yet.
we always do ours on a Saturday because that's when I can get most of our members to participate. And so we're doing it on the 22nd this year.
Right.
Wonderful. And Chuck, I imagine you would encourage those who fit the bill for the AMVETs to reach out to someone like yourself if they're thinking about maybe joining an organization like this.
Yeah, call me or Dell Urick, one of us.
What's a good way to reach yourself or Del? Can they call the Veteran Center?
They could, but they're kind of under new management here now, and I don't know if they have all the ways and means of getting hold of. My number is 887-8247.
All right, 8247. If you
Yeah.
miss that phone number, feel
I
free to
would-
give me a call at the station.
Yeah.
I'll be more than happy to connect you with Chuck.
Yeah, that would be the way to go.
All right, very good.
And then the American Legion now has opened up for more people to join, because before it was specific wars and there was gaps in between the wars, and that's where the AMVET picked up those veterans.
Yeah.
Well, now they've changed the eligibility dates. I think it's from World War on until present. Anybody that did any kind of service. And, you know, people think because to join these organizations you had to be in a war or been overseas or something. No. I mean, you were a fire clerk back here. It's important. We needed you, you know, or send supplies out. You were still a veteran. You were in the service. Please join the groups. You
Yeah.
don't have to have gone to a war or something to be in any of these groups.
Yeah, they sure could use your help.
Right.
We're speaking with the folks from the Beaver Dam Memorial Day Committee. That's Lois Lebenhagen. We've got Paul Louth here. Chuck Staub is joining us as well. We've got a few other veterans and the organizations that they represent waiting in the wings here on this Monday afternoon from the Beaver Dam Veterans Center, listening to community comment here on AM 1430 WBEV. Beaver Dam, a Good Karma Brands radio station. And we, in just a few minutes, are going to sit down and speak with Ty Leto, Jeff Krako, and we've got David Noe waiting in the wings as well. The Beaver Dam Veterans Day, I keep saying that, Beaver Dam Memorial Day 2021 ceremony will be broadcast on the 31st. It starts at 10:15 in the morning sharp, just as it always has, from Oakwood Cemetery. And don't forget about Paul's Brat Fry at Piggly Wiggly. That's this Saturday?
It's this Saturday, yes.
All right. You'll be out there, what, like 11 to 2, 10 to
10 to
3?
2.
All right, 10 to 2.
And if, you know, other years we've already been selling brats at 9 o'clock in the morning. Some people like them for breakfast. I don't know.
You
But,
twist their arm.
As soon as we get there, we light up the grill and they're ready to go. And yeah.
All right. That's this Saturday. We do have to take a break. We'll come back. More community comment in just a few minutes. And we are back here on WBEV's Community Comment, broadcasting live from the Veterans Center on Bickel Avenue in Beaver Dam. We were going to be broadcasting live from the Oakwood Cemetery, but because of the weather, we thought it might be best to broadcast from the rain location for the 2021 Memorial Day ceremony in Beaver Dam, which will be live from the Oakwood Cemetery and the Veterans Memorial out there, unless there is rain, in which case, Lois, we would be here in this very building. There's plenty of room for people in here as well.
Yeah, and I've got a diagram all written up, like where we seat everybody, how they're set up, and the bands who can even be here. We'll still do taps, and the buglers will stand at each end of the hallway, and it kind of echoes through then, you know, with the doors open and that. So we've done it once, I think, that in the years that I've been doing it.
Yes, yeah, I do recall one
Right.
in the last 15 years that I've been. You've been doing this since '04.
I think that's how, I know I've got records back that far, but I know I've been things before that, because
Since
I
before
worked,
that even.
I worked
Since
under.
before recorded time is what
Yeah.
you're saying.
Yeah,
It's,
I was back in the John Ullman years.
And that's Lois Levenhagen, again with the Beaver Dam Legion Auxiliary.
Yep.
Now we've got two new gentlemen with us here today. We've got the commander of the VFW, Ty Leto. Ty, thank you so much for joining me today.
Oh, you're welcome.
And we've also got Jeff Krako joining us from the Marine Corps League. Did I get it right this time?
You did.
Wow. Good.
Happy birthday, too, by the way.
Oh, thank you
Yeah,
very
yeah.
much, Jeff. We appreciate that.
You didn't bring no cake for us either.
I didn't, but I like to think like I wish I had a birthday on April Fool's Day. That would just make things so much easier.
It does. You can act any way you want.
So we want to talk a little bit about the role of the Marine Corps League and the VFW here in this segment. And the VFW, again, you guys are the master of ceremonies this year. Marine Corps League, you're up in, 2024, if I'm not mistaken?
Yes, actually, we did it in 2019, and then because of last year's shutdown of everything, I was, I guess, privileged to be able to do it again, the shorter version. So I actually got 2 years in a row, in a way.
And I know we rebroadcast that
Right.
2019 in its entirety on our airwaves, and then we added that new stuff into it as well. And so you
Correct.
guys were behind that.
Correct.
And it was a great job. It was still a touching ceremony to be able to get the essentials, essentially. It was so important at a time when there were so many question marks and unknowns. It's good to have at least some semblance of normalcy with that.
Right.
It was, and it's also great to honor the families of those that have passed away since, instead of leaving that hang.
Yeah.
And it would have been too many names for this year, so that's why we did what we did, and that, yeah.
Yeah, and it's still a very fitting moment, and it was great to see that you guys were able to do that. Ty, you're the master of ceremonies this year.
Yes, I
What
am.
What does that mean? What does that mean to you?
Well, I get to read the script from Lois and make sure that everybody's doing what they're supposed to be doing up in front.
Have you been a master of ceremonies before?
This will be my first time doing master ceremonies. I've been involved in both the committee and also been involved in the ceremony itself for going on 7-8 years now. So
Okay.
it's been a while.
That's great. What people that haven't been to a ceremony like this before, how would you explain to them what they could expect?
Well, I encourage a lot of my friends to go because it's one of those times where you really feel what Memorial Day is about, and the committee has done an incredible job with putting together a program that really reflects that, whether it be through the music that's played or whether it be through the different poems that are read. And in this case, if I recall, Lois, we're having a flyover again this year, and that's kind of a highlight.
Yeah.
We're going to have a flyover of airplanes at a very strategic point. But it's a very moving ceremony, and it's one that really honors those that passed away, not only previously, but those who have passed away this year.
Right. They're not jets, they're little
There,
Cessnas
a
and.
couple of them are biplanes and little
things,
Cessnas
right.
and stuff like that.
But it's
yeah.
still touching to see them come flying over. And usually they'll come from way in the back and then they come right on over and they'll make a loop and all of a sudden they'll come back and fly back across the other way again.
Is that tricky to line that up? Who do you work with? Can I get a flyover for my birthday? I mean, is this just how do you do this?
Well, we got a hold of Dale Wall's name. In fact, his father lives across the street from me.
Oh, no, well, that's
So
convenient.
I didn't get it from him, but anyhow, I got his name, and he has a couple guys he works with, and I contact him every year, and I contact him again this year, and he says, "Oh, sure, we'll do it,"
That's great.
and stuff. Yeah.
These
The
guys
only
have
thing is-
volunteered to do it for
is
several
volunteer.
years now. So.
Yeah.
They have been the ones that we've seen at previous ones.
Yeah,
then?
in the last couple of years of the parade, they would actually fly down the parade route too, real
recall
low
that.
treetop.
Do-
Yeah.
Do they go to any of the, we're talking about the Beaver Dam Memorial Day ceremony here, but so many communities do something like this, and certainly we encourage you, if you can't come to Beaver Dam, to go to your community and
Yep.
participate in recognizing all that our veterans have
Right.
done for us and those who have given their lives in defending this country. When it comes to, do they go to any of the other neighboring, your friends?
Past
Do they hit a
years-
few of the other ones?
Yeah, that one, years ago when we first started with, yeah, they had a regular setup, they went to different ones. And I don't know if they still do, I didn't get around to asking Dale this year
Sure.
if he was continuing or if it's just us doing it, I don't know that part. But I know that a couple of years, he had a couple places, he strategically laid them out, and went right around and did them all, right?
Certainly a wonderful moment, though, in the ceremony for young and old alike, but, also for young, that next generation that can look to the skies and think, boy, that's something I want to do, and look around at all the men and women who have given so much and the respect that they're getting. There's an importance to that, too, I would think, right, Ty?
Yeah, there is. And that's one thing I would really encourage any veterans out there, whether they're a veteran of a war or whether just they are a veteran, is you know, these organizations are not only active in their community for giving back, they're active in their community for trying to help veterans who may be homeless or veterans who may not be able to get, have food on the table. A lot of them work together to try to make sure that food baskets are sent out. I know Paul's very active in that, and I know other members in the other organizations are also. But one point that I would really make is if you can't get active with the organization, join an organization, because those organizations are who go to Washington, D.C. to lobby and make sure you're getting the benefits you're supposed to as a veteran.
Right.
So it's incredibly important. If you can't give your time, you know, give your dues and be a member in order to try to help out with lobbying Congress or lobbying our legislature in order to try to make sure we're getting the benefits that are deserved.
Does the Beaver Dam VFW have any fundraisers or activities that they undertake for a similar ends to help some of the veterans in the area?
We do. We do our Poppy Drive, which was this past weekend, and I thank the Beaver Dam community for supporting us as well as they did. They were very generous this year, recognizing that we didn't do it last year. We take 100% of those proceeds and we put it in what our Veterans Relief Program, and 100% of that money goes towards helping veterans out, whether it's food baskets. We've helped veterans get apartments. We've helped veterans actually set their apartments up. We've put tires on veterans' cars, had their cars repaired. We've done a lot of those things, and it's amazing. What the community doesn't really realize is how much assistance is given throughout the year to veterans by all the veteran organizations. So.
Yes.
And when you sign up for or join an organization like the VFW, that's one of the components, is being able to be out there and help your fellow veteran. There's also, I imagine, something in it for that veteran that they might not be able to get somewhere else.
The camaraderie. There's a real connection between veterans and who know and understand. They know and understand each other. They know and understand what each one has gone through. There's common language, so it's really a lot about that camaraderie, and I know these organizations have helped a lot of folks who have come either out of the service or struggled with coming out of the service. They've helped their brothers and sisters recover from that or help them get established going forward.
You know, we were talking to Paul Louth here just a second ago. He was talking about the dwindling number of individuals that are joining organizations like this. Now, you were with Iraqi Freedom,
Right.
And thank you for your service. What would you say to your peers that may be not affiliated with any type of service organization?
Well, it's really what I had talked about earlier, is if you can't give your time, give your dues, join the organization, right? So we've got the funding available to go to the Hill and lobby. The other part is I think a lot of these folks think that when they join the organization, you got to give all your time, and that's the only thing you give your time to. A good example is our brat fry on Saturday. You know, if you can just make it for setup, that's awesome. If you can just make it for 1 or 2 hours, or if you can only make it to help tear down,
Or come and eat.
it's assisting in any way and that you can. So you don't have to stay the entire time. You're not going to get pressured to stay the entire time. It's whatever you can give.
Excellent. And again, that brat fry is this Saturday, 10 to 2 or so at Beaver Dam Piggly Wiggly. Boy, I hope nothing is going on over at the Rechecks brat fry next Saturday.
Yeah, I got an email or a text into my auxiliary president, but I think it's this Saturday too.
Uh-oh. So the auxiliary has a VFW, a competing brat fry,
American Legion Auxiliary.
American Legion Auxiliary at Rechecks, going against the VFW brat fry over at Piggly Wiggly.
Yeah.
Ding,
Oh.
ding, ding.
You can't go wrong either
No,
way there, I guess, can you?
Right, no, that's good.
Make sure you get a brat on Friday. You should
Well, you have
on
one-
Saturday.
You can have one for lunch and then have one for a snack later on in the day.
Yeah, that's a good.
you go.
You
Or
guys
one for
already
breakfast and one for lunch.
you have this already lined up, don't
Yeah,
you?
oh, yeah.
It's a good idea.
And we always have good stuff at ours, you know.
In addition to brats,
Yeah.
you have hamburgers.
Yep.
You gonna have hamburgers?
Yeah, we do.
Uh-oh.
Oh, okay. Shoot.
We have soda.
Soda,
We have
hot
hot
dogs,
dogs.
Yeah. And chips.
chips.
Yeah.
Wow. People are just gonna have to go to both.
Yeah.
It sounds like.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
this Saturday, a lot of options. BEV's got its own brat fry on Friday, too, so don't forget about that one. Jeff Krako is with the Marine Corps League. Jeff, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
This is the first time that we've had an opportunity to speak on the airwaves, but you're no stranger to WBEV. You've been on with Uncle Bill a few times. if
Yes,
I'm
I
not
have.
mistaken.
On Community Comment, as a matter of fact.
Back when the good host is on.
Yes, yes.
That's a good one to nail.
I was with the old pro.
Right, there you go. So the Marine Corps League. What is the Marine Corps League?
The Marine Corps League is for Marines. We'd like to consider ourselves Marines, still helping Marines and other veterans. It's a lot like Ty said, that all the organizations pretty much do the same thing. We're here for veterans and their families, helping those in need. Until last year, our organization, we have about 30 members. We average about $10,000 a year we give away to veterans and their families. So we do a lot of help, too, with a short amount of people. And our fundraiser is brat fry. Go imagine. But we have ours the second Saturday of every month from April through October in Columbus at Chester Bandits BP across from the Fireman's Park.
So is that this Saturday?
No, that's not. It was
Oh,
last
it's
Saturday.
The third Saturday. Okay, all right. Thought we'd have three
Yeah,
for a
no,
second.
we're not.
That's in Columbus too, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not necessarily compete. You just have to drive that much farther.
When they make that long trip, they might get hungry again.
That's true.
You never
15
know.
Minutes is a long time.
Yes.
And when in your organization, when you raise money for things like that, tell us a little bit about how you distribute that.
Well, we do the same thing as Ty said. You know, we help veterans in need. We've helped homeless. We've helped. We've done clothing drives. We helped pay some mortgages. We didn't pay the mortgage, but we helped them through a couple months where they're in trying times and stuff. And it's the same thing every organization does. And he mentioned numbers too, going to Washington for lobbying. We have to do that in the state too. I was on a couple Zoom calls last week, and the Wisconsin Veterans Association needs to know what veterans need. And the only way to find out is talk to veterans. So we need veterans to come and join us. Let us know your problems. Let us know what's going on. And we can take that to Madison as well as Washington, D.C. So there are organizations in government to help us. They just have to know what we need.
Yeah, excellent. All the reason to sign up to. You can't just sign up to one, or I mean, you're not prohibited from signing up for more than one veterans organization.
Not at all.
You can join more than one.
Right.
If you're a Marine, you can be in the Marine Corps League, you can be in the American Legion, and if you've served in theater, you can be in the VFW.
As well as AMVETS.
As
All
well
of
as
us are
AMVETS.
eligible for AMVETS.
Yeah,
Right.
excellent, very good.
And back to one thing that Jeff was saying too, he talked about the broad fries. I think pretty much for all the organizations, one of their biggest fundraisers is those broad fries
Right.
throughout the summer. So I would tell the community that when you see a veteran broad fry happening, we encourage you to support it, because that's really the way that we are able to help raise funds. And many, I know the American Legion does. Do you guys do a poppy drive every year too?
Yeah, the women auxiliary, in fact, we have it Memorial Day weekend, Friday and Saturday.
So the poppy drives are just, it's
Right.
another way. So when you see those, that's really where these organizations
Right.
are raising their money to help veterans.
So you've had your poppy drive this
We did it
past
this
weekend,
last
but
weekend.
that doesn't mean it's the last opportunity that folks are
No.
going to
Oh,
see
no,
for a
no.
poppy out there.
Even though the flowers look different in different organizations, the money still goes all to help the veterans in the same places, yeah, we're helping with.
And the
right? So-
concept's the same.
Right,
It's all
right.
built off of the same
Right.
concept.
And then like the Legion has a big fundraiser, they have the beer tent all the time out at the Dodge County Fair. And so last year we didn't have it, but as far as I know, it's a goal again this year.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
Yeah.
that's a big one for
And
them.
we're all looking forward to.
And I'm
to
sure all
those
the
opportunities.
organizations, without
Right.
having those fundraisers last year, you know, they're trying to recoup as many funds as they can in order
Right.
to make up for that loss last year.
Right.
That may be the difference between a light staying on for one more month for somebody in need that you guys look out for.
Right,
That's great.
right.
The Marine Corps League doesn't do poppies, but we do rose.
No.
And we don't have specific times. We just find places. Actually, Dave Noe is in charge of setting up our rose drives. And he got one coming up for Father's Day weekend
Father's Day weekend at Fleet Farm.
at Fleet Farm. And then we got a couple more set up that, again, when you see somebody out there, you see a veteran out there, help them out.
Yeah.
Yeah, most people put more to it when they see it like on a holiday, like Memorial Day or 4th of July and stuff. But actually, you could do distribute these poppies any organization, basically all year round if you wanted to, right?
Yeah. The funds are distributed all year round, it sounds
Yes.
like. It's
Correct.
not something that
Yeah.
comes up at any one particular time.
And BEV's been great with working with us and helping the community know that we're out there
Right.
and we're legit. Because I know there's a lot of scams that go on, but you guys have worked with us in the past to make the announcements.
And people
And
know
letting
us too,
folks-
because we're in our own communities, you know, all our different organizations, so, you know, the people that are out there, a lot of people know us, you know, so they aren't afraid to give, you know, it's not a scam, we're the legit thing.
Yeah, but one of the places that you would be able to make eye contact and talk to some of the people that we're talking about would be at the 2021 Memorial Day ceremony at Oakwood Cemetery, or in its main location of the Beaver Dam Veterans Center, which is where we're broadcasting from today. Tell us a little bit about your role, Jeff, in the ceremony that's coming up on the 31st.
I don't have a huge role. I show up and lead. No,
I hear you're reading a poem.
I think I'm reading too.
Okay.
But yeah, I like to read. Hopefully I do it well. Don't stutter too much. But
You got a good radio voice.
I'm told I have a face for radio too.
Yeah.
So
That's why I'm here.
you know. So anyway, yeah, I look forward to it, and I always say, you know, with funerals too, we're very big on honoring the family for a funeral. This is one more chance that the family can feel the honor of their loved one that has served.
Right. Yeah, a lot of them had funerals this year, but it was so private that even their friends and neighbors couldn't come and honor that veteran. This is going to be a big thing this year, that they can do more of that.
Yeah, that's an excellent point. Yeah, I hadn't thought about that. Even though we know it and we realize that
Right.
on a day-to-day basis, it's certainly one of those things that the time has come. This is many reasons, a great reason why the 2021 Memorial Day ceremony is so important. Jeff, tell us about the poems. How are they selected? Is this a question I should direct to Lois?
Well, actually, a couple of them have been in there for a number of years,
Yes.
and we've tried to add a couple just to make changes. So I looked one up a couple years ago and got one. I had another one, but I failed to get it to Lois to have someone read. And actually, I think it's a pretty good one. Maybe we'll add it next year and have a woman read it, because it says it's a mother's tear, which is pretty. It was pretty emotional just reading it myself. So.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we you know, like we have Flanders Field with, you know, about the poppy. It's kind of standard, but I mean, we're always looking, you know, for, you know, change up the program a little bit by changing a poem or something, you know, keep up and, you know, because we want to honor the veteran, we want to honor the day, you know, and stuff. So, you know, we find things all over from different newspapers or a prayer book or something. We find something that's appropriate, and if it is, we use it.
Jeff, if you run into a veteran out there who's not a member of a service organization, when you run into a fellow Marine, what advice do you have for him in that regard?
Again, it's. I hate repeating Ty, but he's saying all the right things. That we're here for you, and the big thing is, when you were in combat or were in the military people know what you're talking about. Talk to them. There's a lot of, well, I think you're aware that 22 veterans a day commit suicide. Don't do it. Join an organization and talk to them. Get your feelings out. Talk it out. We can all listen to you. We don't have to say anything. A lot of times just having them talk puts a lot of that pressure out of them.
Those statistics are startling, and I think there's a lot of people that have never served that hear those statistics and want to be able to do something and are comforted in the fact that there is organizations like this out there to help people that may be going through that. In addition to taking a moment to reflect and look back, like you guys are doing with the 2021 Memorial Day ceremony. Again, that is going to be on the 31st. Of May. It starts at 10:15, and the VFW is the one that is going to be leading this year. But the AMVETS are back next year, the Legion in 2023, and of course the Marine Corps League will be in charge with the Master of Ceremonies in 2024. Our guests here are with all those organizations. We do have to take a break, but when we come back, we're going to wrap things up here with our friends from the various veterans organizations here in the Beaver Dam area. Back in just a few minutes. And we're back here on WBEV's Community Comment Program. On a Monday afternoon, we are broadcasting live from the Beaver Dam Veterans Center in lieu of broadcasting live from the Veterans Memorial at Oakwood Cemetery. It was looking a little rainy out there, so we voted unanimously to come back here to the Legion and do this indoors. Nice and warm, beautiful place. It's undergoing some renovations right now. An addition, right. After you already had an addition put on to kind of move people toward the north side of the building.
The front
South
entrance,
side.
right. And like we got the cover, so like if, somebody has to drop somebody off, if it's raining, they won't get all wet, or like there's wedding, parties here and stuff too. The bride doesn't get wet, and all that kind of stuff. They can unload that underneath the canopy.
Yeah, that's Lois Levenhagen with the American Legion Auxiliary, who is one of the people that works very hard year after year to put on the Memorial Day ceremony. It's at Oakwood Cemetery this year, again at the Veterans Memorial. We are broadcasting live. We're also video streaming. I would encourage you to check out the video stream at dailydodge.com. You just go on to Daily Dodge and check out the video tab, and it'll take you right to our video program, again being streamed live, and you'll be able to watch back at the video tab as well after this program is over. Joining us on this segment, we have Paul Louth back. We're with the VFW. We're happy to see Paul back behind the microphone, and an opportunity to sit down with another one of the old friends that we've made here over the years. He's been suspiciously quiet throughout the course of the program today. We want to welcome with the Marine Corps League, David Noe. David, thanks for joining us.
Well, thank you for having me.
And it's good to see you, and it's been year after year that we see all of you guys, and it's so good to be able to talk about this effort that you put on year after year out at the Veterans Memorial at Oakwood Cemetery. Ideally, obviously, if it's not a rain date, what is the Veterans Memorial? Describe it, if you would, for us, for those that may not be familiar.
Beaver Dam Veterans Memorial Park was established back it opened in 2004.
Right.
It was headed up mainly by the American Legion, the host organization, but they brought in the VFW, and when the AMVETs were established, they were brought in. The Marine Corps League were included, and as part of a committee to organize. They designed it, did the fundraising, and put up the original wall. Some 15 years ago, when Bob Frankenstein decided to hang that up, he fulfilled his desires. I was brought in, and myself with Paul Louth, Chuck Staub, Del Yarok, myself.
Ross O'Brien.
Ross O'Brien was a long-time one on that board. We ran out of room on the wall. So we had to go through a design addition. And our goal at that time was we did not want to detract from the original design, but rather to enhance it. And that's what we did. We added one small wall to the north to accommodate the sign of the memorial, the park, and then on the back side of that opened up some space for a small plaque for names, as well opened up 3 other walls for spaces. So we have one full wall on the north side that's available, and just a little less than half on one. Otherwise, we're filling it up. And we've already been in some discussion as far as what are some of our possibilities may be in the future when the need is needed to add more names and more walls.
How often does that come up? Is this a yearly opportunity that folks have to add names to the walls? Can they submit a name at any time in the year?
For a while there, we were going twice a year. We wanted to get the names up for Memorial Day and Veterans Day. But the request had decreased significantly, so we were able to get them all done by Memorial Day. That is our goal. We want it done for Memorial Day every year if possible.
So we'll have new names going up this year?
We have 16 names that are going on this year. And according to Chuck Staub, we had 1 or 2 requests come in after the application was, and the addition was already sent into the monument company. So the draft and everything was already done, and our billing was sent to us as far as the Archie Monument and Stone have been. They're the ones who put it together for us to begin with, and they've been our go-to people ever since.
So if folks are able to reach out to whether it be one of the service organizations, would they be able to get it on the 2022
Yes,
engraving?
we have applications available on site out at the park. If for some reason they're either not there, available, they could check with the cemetery office. Russell Kotke, who when he mans the office, he has applications available there. There's applications available here at the Veterans Center. And if you talk to any one of the committee members, we will get you an application. We'll mail it to you if need be. And we've had requests come in from California of who has family members in the area. They wanted to be on the walls, and we mailed them an application. They filled it up, sent it back with the required funds, and we made it happen.
Excellent. What kind of guidelines are there for folks that may be looking at getting the name of a friend, a loved one, whatever it may be?
I know some of the Veterans Memorial Parks or monuments around the country, they're pretty stringent as far as the wear. In our thoughts and theories on it are, if you have a Beaver Dam or Beaver Dam area contact, or I mean, they lived in the area, or somebody from here, you can be put on a wall. Get the application. We want there as much of the name possible. The branch that they were in, just an example. We started out with the name, their branch, and we have one here. He was an Army rifleman on that second line. And the third line, he put in Vietnam era. Myself, for mine, my full name, and it was just Marine Corps and was Cold War. Kept it simple, to the point. Didn't need to do much of anything else.
That's who would one reach out to then if they were interested in doing that? Who exactly? Should you just reach out to your service organization? Should it be you particularly?
They can, reach out to the organizations. They can direct you to us and to the right people. Ask. And if they don't know, they'll generally, I know our Dodge County Veteran Service Officer, Andy Miller, has called me on a few occasions, and I told him, just get me a name, a phone number, or an address, and I'll get him an application. And if they need any help filling it out with what can and cannot be put on the wall, we'll help them. We'll walk them through the process.
It's a pretty sharp-looking wall, Paul.
It is. It's a
It is.
very fine wall. When we did the addition and put up the other wall, we also came up with the idea of, at that time, we had the U.S. flag and the Wisconsin state flag, and we came up with the idea of, why not honor all the different organizations, Army, Marines, Air Force, Coast Guard, Merchant Marines. So we bought flag poles so that all of those flags are flying. Plus, we also put one up for MIA POW flag up, which is set off to the side, which kind of enhances the whole park to see all those flags flying when you drive by there, especially on a day when you got a nice breeze and all those flags are out. I mean, it is an awesome sight.
Yeah.
And the whole park itself is just an awesome place to be. It's a good place to go if you want to sit and think, contemplate. It's a nice, quiet place to do that. And as they were talking before, a lot of veterans don't want to talk about what they went through when they're in the service, but they can talk to another veteran because he understands, especially if he was in the same conflict. I know I myself have a lot of stuff I will not talk about. I just can't. But another veteran that was in Vietnam when I was there, I can talk to him. And if anybody has problems, find a veteran, whether he was in a conflict or if he was just in the service. They're there to help you, and they understand what your problem is. We're here to help them any way we can, and that's why we do what we do. I enjoy working with this organization to be able to honor those people that have served this country, whether it would be in wartime or peacetime. It doesn't make any difference. As long as you served, you have my respect.
And one of those days that, one of those ways you could acknowledge that is a name on the wall at the Beaver Dam Veterans Memorial Park, or any veterans
Yeah.
park,
Any
if
veteran
it's in your
park.
respective community.
There's a lot of veteran parks out there. As far as ours go, I mean, like Dave said, we have applications pretty much all over. I carry them in my truck and in my van at all times. Anybody that knows me and wants an application, I have them. And I'll help you fill it out. I'd be honored to.
That's great. It's not the only way in Beaver Dam that we can honor our veterans, though, is it, Lois?
No, there isn't. Yeah, we've got one that honors all summer long. It started last year. It's the Veterans Honor Walk with the banners. You saw up downtown in the connecting streets downtown. It was started by an Eagle Scout, and he invited several of us to help him with it, and I happen to be the representative from the American Legion Auxiliary, and I'm the treasurer. And we work to get these banners up. Now, the application for this year is done because right now it takes 6 to 8 weeks to get those banners all printed. So we're in the process of doing that, and we have a booklet, and in that booklet has a picture of all the banners, and then there's like a little number down on the corner, and then we open up the center, there's a map of downtown, and all the poles are numbered, so if you're looking for somebody in special, you can know exactly where to find them. And we have them at several places, like the Chamber and stuff like that downtown, and the families all get a couple copies too, the sponsors of the banners. We had 50 up last year. This year we're a little short. I think we had 39 or 40, but we're still going ahead with it because a little tight in the wallet this year, you know, with the pandemic and everything, you know, and stuff. But I think we have application for one already for next year. Okay. So we'll start taking applications now already for next year. Because if it keeps on going, I mean, we figure we'll have waiting lists down the line. So we're taking names now.
That's a great
Right.
opportunity,
Right.
just as the wall, and when you're strolling through downtown
Right.
Beaver Dam, it's a wonderful thing to
Well,
be able to see.
Beaver Dam is so versatile because right now you can actually walk the area because you've got the map, but you can also see the murals that are up and everything else that we've got going on downtown, and now with new restaurants opening up and different things. I mean, you could spend the whole time down in that area now that we've done all these improvements and added things and stuff. And the banners are up from July 4th until the middle of November when the city takes them down and then puts the Christmas decorations up.
Well,
So
that's great.
they're up all summer, so you get to honor your veteran all summer.
That's wonderful. Another way, another good way to do that. We've talked about the poppies. Your colleague David mentioned the rose drives that you have. Can you elaborate and explain what that is and when we might see it?
Well, the history of the marine rose goes all the way back to the Revolutionary War. The French honored the Marines that have fallen during the Revolutionary War. And fast forward back to World War I. We had many Marines that fell during the battles defending France. And they planted roses at the graves of all the Marines that have been buried over there and stayed over there. And they carried on again for World War II by the French in honor. I know the American Legion has their poppies. The AMVETS has their clovers. The VFW, you have poppies also.
Yep.
The Marines, we have our roses. And that is one of our major fundraising that we do. When I became the commandant of the detachment some 12 so years ago, I checked with our department at the state level and the national level and says, do we have to select a weekend or a week or a couple of weeks out of the year to be able to do this fundraising? They said, they advised me, you can do it anytime you want. Just don't saturate the community to the point where you know, every time they see a Marine standing there and they know you're going to pick their pocket or something. No, we like to do it at events that we have, but we do it year round. One of our deceased Marines that we've had worked that real heavily, Dale Peterson. Many years ago, he was a member of all the veterans groups. He was an AMVET, VFW, American Legion, and Marine Corps League. He brought that up to light, and we expanded upon it. So now we do it at every one of our brat fries that we have, such as at Fleet Farm this year for Father's Day weekend. We'll be doing both Saturday and Sunday and Father's Day weekend, but we have a brat fry that same Saturday. And we will be doing the roses at the front door at that time.
What's the date of that again?
That would be June 19th
Okay. And you're doing that where?
at Fleet Farm.
At Fleet Farm here in Beaver Dam.
Here in Beaver Dam.
Selling brats.
Brat
The
fry.
roses will be available.
Yes. We have the brats, hamburgers, cheeseburgers, hot dogs, pulled pork, chips, soda, water, or whatever you'd like, as well as a big pickle on a stick for $1.
You guys don't have a
And
pickle
believe
on a
it or
stick
not,
for this
pickle on a stick.
Saturday's.
we will go through at sometimes a gallon jar of those large pickles in one sitting. People love them.
Yeah, and we talked about earlier in the program the importance of those dollars and how they stay local and how
Yes.
you use them to help veterans right here.
Yes, our Rose program, the money is required by national bylaws. It must go to Marines, to helping the Marines. And so if we're donating to a Marine in need, that's what it's primarily for.
Well, we just have a few minutes left in the program here, but I think we have enough to recap on where some of these important fundraisers are. You've got the 19th of June at Fleet Farm in Beaver Dam for your brat fry / pickle on a stick event.
We'll have our trailer and our flag flying and our mobile trailer grill fired up and going.
And we've got competing brat fries this Saturday. You're at Piggly Wiggly,
We're at Piggly Wiggly, yes.
and you're at Rechecks.
The auxiliary, yeah.
Who's going to win?
We are.
Okay.
I won't be here. I'm gonna be gone that weekend.
Well, I'm sure you'll be there in spirit,
Oh, yeah.
flipping burgers and whatnot. You can get next year's Eagle Project banners. You can anytime between now and then you could
Yeah.
do something about that.
Yeah.
You've got a food drive coming up in the fall.
In the fall, we've been doing this I've been running it for the last 7-8 years now. This past year, of course, with the COVID, we couldn't do it. But we're gonna start it again this year. We put the food barrels out the 1st of November, and we hand out food boxes at Thanksgiving for local veterans that need help. And then for Christmas, I get a hold of the Dodge County Housing Authority in Juneau, and they give me the number of veterans that living in county housing, and they get a food box. Not last year, but the year before, I think we gave out 49 food boxes between Thanksgiving and Christmas. So when you see the food barrels out this fall, please help us out. And then again, if we run short, which we generally do, the money from our brat fry and our poppy, that money then is used to help fund that food drive for the veterans. The biggest problem is the veterans themselves that need help won't come and ask us. It's their neighbor or a relative that can say, hey, so-and-so is in desperate need of help. That's how we find out about it. And I do get calls quite often from Andy Miller, the service officer. He'll give me a call and say that a family is in need of some food, and we always have food available. If we don't have food available, I run to the local store and I'll get them a gift card for food.
It falls a ways away. You're planting the seed now, but
Right.
also at the same time, I would think maybe there's somebody out there that's maybe going to think of something to do this in the next few months that might be good for the community. Maybe they do their own food fundraiser and donate it to you come fall.
Yeah, we can take that.
All right.
We've gotten food gifts from as far away as Cambria,
Okay.
Friesland, Waupun, and we put the food barrels here in Beaver Dam, Juneau, Waupun, Randolph. So there's plenty of places for them to drop off their donations.
I imagine
Non-perishable items.
non-perishable items. I
Right.
imagine it might be a little bit early to drop off food now. Can people make a donation directly to that
Sure.
program?
Anybody that wants to give a donation, they can send it to the VFW in care of the Veteran Center, or they can send it to me and just put on the bottom food drive, and I will see to it that it gets put in the proper coffer.
All right, very good. Well, in the meantime, I think beads of sweat are starting to build on Cale's forehead back at the station here as we move past the designated time. But we would be remiss if we didn't hit all of the important points for the reason that we're here. Lois, tell us what we need to know about the 2021 Beaver Dam Memorial Day ceremony here as we wrap down the program.
We're back to normal this year, and it's going to be on Monday, May 31st, 2021. It starts at 10:15 sharp out at the Veterans Memorial Park, which is located inside Oakwood Cemetery off of Highway 33 and 151. And there will be some park benches available, but you're welcome to bring your lawn chairs and blankets because we want to spread out. We ask if you know, we're not telling you have to, but if you can, wear a mask, because even though we're outside, there's going to be a lot of people there. And do some social distance if you can, because we got plenty of room out there. And we'll have a guest speaker. We'll be honoring all the deceased veterans since last year's Memorial Day. And we do that by having the helmet where we drop the poppies and read their names off and say absent. And the bands will be there again, too, so we'll have the music for the ceremony and that, too. So, well, should be a good day.
Excellent. We're looking forward to it. And don't forget, if you can't make it out to the Oakwood Cemetery, the Veterans Memorial Park there, or even if you do go and you want to look back at the ceremony, you can go to dailydodge.com. We will be broadcasting that live here on AM 1430 WBEV, again starting at 10:15 on Memorial Day morning, and that video stream will be corresponding on the video tab at the same time. And if you wanted to watch today's program, we've finally had a chance to take WBEV out on the road again for community comment for the first time, I think since there was a 19 on the calendar, and it's been an absolute pleasure to be able to sit down and share your stories, and I've absolutely enjoyed the last hour and a half. And I can't wait till we're able to do this again. Thank you so much.
Good.
We do
Thank
appreciate
you.
it.
Thank you for having us.
Yes.
And you did a heck of a job, even though it is your birthday.
Even though it is my birthday. And you did a heck of a job. Thank you for your service. And David, thank you for your service. And we want to extend the same graciousness and thanks to the other guests who join us. Chuck Staub is a regular like you guys are, but
Yes.
you brought two newbies around this time. We want to thank you for introducing some new folks to the airwaves in Beaver Dam. Ty Leto, who will be your master of ceremonies at the ceremony this year. We want to thank Ty for joining us, and Jeff Krako also for joining us a little bit earlier in the program. Paul Louth with the VFW has been here joining us. We've had with the Marine Corps League, the other guy from the Marine Corps League, David Noe, we want to thank you. And of course, Lois, my faithful co-host on today's program. Thank you for all the hard work all of you do, and we'll look forward to that next conversation. Again, Memorial Day morning, 10:15, that is May 31st. We'll be broadcasting on air. We'll be broadcasting by video, and we'll be out at Oakwood Cemetery. Again, our thanks to Lois Levenhagen, Ty Leto, Jeff Krako, Chuck Staub, David Noe, and Paul Louth. That's going to do it for today's Community Comment.